Saturday, October 27, 2012. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1995 Subaru Legacy. Long story short, ever since I bought the car, it's been running just a little bit rough, but reliable. And I've replaced almost every possible thing I've thought it could be so far, and so far, no luck. So what I'm going to do today is actually replace the crankshaft pulley here with a brand new one. I'm thinking maybe it's a little bit worn out and not running completely round anymore. So the very first thing I'm going to have to do is take off the alternator belt, and that's pretty quick and easy. You just have to loosen the loosen this lock bolt right here, loosen the pivot bolt, and then loosen the tensioner bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I believe from the factory these are all 12mm, but my replacement tensioner bolt here is actually 13mm, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now that the belt is off, all I have to do is remove the crankshaft pulley bolt. I'm going to actually take off the cover by the flywheel, and I'll show you where that is, and I'm going to jam something in there to hold the engine while I loosen the bolt. So give me just a moment. So as you can see, I have my 22mm impact socket and half-inch breaker bar on the crankshaft pulley bolt. So now I'm going to go over here, and if you look down where the engine made up with the transmission, it's actually going to be quite difficult to show you here, but right about there, this is a little cover access plate. You can pull that off. Just kind of lifts out by hand. Like I said, it's very difficult to show you this, but right down there is now actually, you can't really see much of anything, but there's an access hole down there, and you can actually brace something up against the flywheel. So I am going to get something in there now. Okay, I believe I have it braced up securely enough, because I have to turn the engine backwards. I basically don't want the engine turning. So in theory, now the engine is locked, and I should be able to pop loose that bolt. And there it went. So now I'm just going to get another wrench on there and loosen the rest by hand. Now the bolt is loose and I can remove it. Okay, I have the pulley loose, so I'm going to remove it. And here we are. Now, normally, sometimes when these go bad in the Subaru, gets all chewed up and eaten up in here. This one looks okay in that respect, so I'm just going to get out the new one and compare them. Okay, once again, this is the old one, and if you look closely around the edge here, you can see a whole bunch of what look like heat and stress cracks here in the rubber center portion, because this is not just a pulley, it's a vibration damper. The inside section is metal, the outside section is metal, but there actually is a rubber layer in between them. And this here is the new one. You can see it looks just fine, and they really do appear to be basically exactly the same part. Now the new one I'm putting on is actually an aftermarket part, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to get this on, and I realize I should have gotten some video of the car running beforehand to do a before and after, but it's a bit late for that, so I'm going to install this now. And one thing I always do is I always put a very thin layer of anti-seize right along here, so it doesn't seize up to the inner crankshaft pulley sprocket. Now that I have a thin layer of anti-seize on there, I'm going to install the pulley onto the crankshaft. Now that the pulley's on, I will thread the bolt back in by hand. And then I'm just going to tighten it down as much as I can with this wrench. And then finally I'm going to have to get a torque wrench on this and torque that down to 120 foot-pounds. And now that I have the new pulley torqued down, all I have to do is remove the brace from the flywheel, put the little cover plate back on there, put the belt back on, and try the engine. Well, I'll be honest, it actually sounds roughly about the same to me, so, I don't know, could just be something else, but like I said, worst case scenario, I've got a new part on there, so I'm just going to rev it a little bit for you, and then I'm going to call it a day. So this is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and thanks for watching.